Count us down from 5, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Coolman Stadium on a slightly drizzly, very English rainy Saturday. The Edina Hornets boys varsity team taking on St. Michael in a late conference varsity match. Edina boys 7-2-3 on the winning margin, and St. Michael 6-6-1, playing 500 ball, but coming off an impressive 8-0 win over Buffalo. The Hornets going to have to see if they can play a rare back-to-back, having defeated Washburn Friday. See if they have the energy to play a rare two-game stretch in 2 nights.
We're excited for this one here today. A little bit of a change up here in the booth. We got a couple announcers here today, so hopefully that should be good for your listening enjoyment. I think you mentioned it in pregame, but a good day to maybe stay at home and watch the game with this weather and maybe slight drizzle this afternoon. But we don't anticipate having to stop here at any points. And a big late conference match between two teams that drew 0-0 earlier this season.
It's cold humidity out there, which is an odd fall feeling, which is that it's cool, but when you run around, you get sweaty, you get hot, you get tired. So fatigue will be a factor for both teams as they get well into the game. And we're underway.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. You see, I think a lot of cramping early in the season, when late August, early September, when humidity is more common. Certainly not common here in early October, but that is the conditions we have today.
And that was Jackson Holly running up the middle. Jackson on the year with 2 goals and 4 assists. A leader in the chance creation department for your Hornets. Carson Diedrichs trying but losing the ball. And St. Michael playing along the end line, or on the sideline and out of bounds.
So these teams met 3 weeks ago today. It was a 0-0 draw up at St. Michael Albertville. And I think Edina really made that draw the turning point of their season. They've won 6 out of 7 games since then. And the only other game was the tie against Eden Prairie in the last home game. So they've turned in a good stretch of form and are closing out the season here in the final week.
The prior game came during a goal drought of sorts where the Hornets were scoring maybe 1 or 0 goals a game. But since then, they've really turned on the Jets, scoring 3, 4, 5 sometimes goals a game. Let's see if they can keep their offensive firepower up this time. Starting with an interesting lineup with leading scorer Sammy Prestis on the bench, maybe for rest, maybe for injury, but we'll see who else steps up for the Hornets in the goal department.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's a factor of that back-to-back you mentioned. Game at Washburn last night at 7 p.m., so a really quick turnaround for Coach Dave Jensen and the Hornets for a big late conference game today.
And we have a ball just strolling out of bounds, and it will be Hornet goal kick. Hornets, of course, this season with a pair of goalkeepers replacing Hank Steckman, a stalwart in goal for 3 years, with 2 new keepers in the pipes taking charge. Goal kick beats midline. Diedrichs trying down the left side, controlling the ball, passing to the middle. Through ball, is it going to get there? No. St. Michael defender up to the task, slide tackle, out of bounds. Let's see if we're going for a long throw here or we're going to maintain possession for your Hornets. In between. Shot deflected. Controlled by Dylan Malik for St. Michael and cleared. Carson Diedrichs of being an early pest against the Knights, forcing the pressure and forcing the ball out of bounds for a favorable throw-in for the Hornets in the offensive zone.
Yeah, really good pressing there by Diedrichs as he just forces the defender to put it out. And now Jackson Hawley will go across, likely to take a long throw, and he tends to come across from his right back spot and take a lot of these long throws near the penalty area.
Here it comes. Reaches the 6-yard box. The ball's dribbling, it's drop bouncing, and cleared again by the Knights. Your captain Swanda controlling the ball from the sweeper position. Trying to play it up. Does ultimately connect.
Looked like handball there on Edina, and they maybe got away with one there.
Natural position, they say. And it will be goal kick to the Knights.
Really liking the pressing early from Carson Diedrichs, though. He's really running at that back line and forcing some pressure. He wasn't quite able to get to that ball, but if he's just able to tire out those center backs and occupy them, that will allow the midfield to kind of fill in some of those gaps.
See if St. Michael can get it started. Shin retreating, goalkeeper heading out, and the ball will roll into the box. The goalkeeper, Austin, and we will have a punt opportunity. Hornets pressing up, expecting a long ball. And indeed they get one. Well over 50. Hornets retreat for a throw-in. That is Elkire controlling the ball in the middle. Trying the through ball, snuffed out. Out to Jackson Hawley. Hawley looking for some moves, looking for some space around the corner. Cut back. And the ball's turned over to the Knights. Gracevaro looking to control, but losing the ball. Bit of a scrum. We'll see who ends up with this ball. And it is your Hornets with Diedrich passing off. Ball in the middle. Oh, danger ball for the Knights, but it's ultimately played out of bounds.
Yeah, and that attack starts there with the pressing from Jackson Hawley. I think his role in this team is so interesting. He's really the right back, but a lot of times almost plays like a right winger, right midfielder. He definitely has the freedom to push forward in the offensive system.
Hornet teams generally like to move the ball quickly up the field. Oh, a little push off there by the Hornet attacker, but he gets away with it. Knights have possession, but it's quickly. Oh. controlled by the Hornets and passed back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and as soon as that ball gets back to Austin in the Edina goal, you hear shouts from St. Michael bench. They want their team to press up. They don't want to sit in all afternoon and just take pressure from this Edina team.
Yeah, when you get pressed back sometimes it's hard to bounce back and get forward. So good advice from the coaches to keep moving forward. And we have a goal kick for the Knights as the ball rolls out of bounds.
Like the effort, though, from Finley Smith there in the middle for Edina. He's the junior midfielder, number 18, and I think he's really maybe one of the more creative midfielders for Edina, often spurring them forward. He's chipped in a few goals as well this year. So look for him to be one of the players on the ball trying to unlock this defense for St. Michael Albertville as they throw 8 behind the ball almost immediately when Edina gets it.
Hornets do have a diverse attack with 14 goal scorers, although Prestis is the leader with 5. Long throw again. Ball bouncing in the box dangerously, but ultimately cleared and returned back in by Swanda.
And I think that was a concern early in the season, like you said, when Edina had that goal drought. Who other than Sammy Prestis was going to step up and provide the goals? And you mentioned he's the leader with 5, so it really has been a well-rounded attack, getting goals from all different parties for Edina, and that's allowed them to go on a good run here.
It certainly makes it harder for the defense to key on any one player when any player on any time has an opportunity to score. And here is that opportunity for the Hornets, right down, pass down the middle. Knights defense, little shaky, turnover, but played wide. See if the Knights can build it up. They cannot, but they do earn a throw-in.
Yeah, and more good pressing there from Edina. I think you said it well. The defender was not too sure of himself, almost got turned inside as well. Close to being a dangerous look for Edina.
Usually the rule of thumb is if you're in trouble, play wide. He did not that time, but didn't get burned. Little dipsy-do there by Jackson Holly. The ball's turned over, and the Knights look to take advantage. Through ball. Shin retreating with pressure. Plays it out, and it looks like off a Knight, yes, and it is Hornet throw-in.
Yeah, well done there on the clearance by Jacob Shin. We've seen it so often this season. That's his role at this team, and he is decisive with the ball. He knows what to do with it when he gets it, and he's just been rock solid at the back of this Edina defense. Definitely a revelation, getting a lot of playing time as a senior.
More times than not, the sweeper is called on to make that last play, or it's real trouble, and that time he got the Hornets out of jail. Here come your Hornets again. Swanda playing a long ball, but the Hornet attack wasn't very far forward, and it looks like that ball is not going to cause trouble for the defense, for the Knights. But for the turnover, opportunity for the Hornets. But good defense by the Knights to block it and turn the ball away. Oh, little too much shove in the back. Finley Smith trying to maintain possession, got knocked over, and that will be a Hornet free kick in a dangerous area just outside the 18-yard box.
Yeah, and Ryan Swanda often takes these, thinking this will be a ball into the box, but could put something toward that back post area.
Oh, opportunity there where there was a header. Bouncing ball. Oh, and a save by the Knights with the bouncing ball wide open. Another chance, and that one does find its way in, and it's a goal. 1-0 Hornets early in the game.
Yeah, STMA just unable to clear the ball there off that corner, or off the free kick, I should say. It was put into the back post area, bounced around. It looks like it was Henry Denault that maybe had the best chance and a big save made by the keeper, but eventually it found its way to Jackson Hawley, who was able to find the corner. Maybe off a slight touch by the keeper I might have detected there, but Hawley gets the goal. Edina 1-0.
It's always hard as a defense when you want to maintain possession and start something, but every once in a while when the ball's bouncing like that, you just got to clear and live to fight another day. And Knight's not able to do that in this instance, and the Hornets take advantage, and it's 1-0.
For Jackson Hawley, his 3rd goal of the season. captain gives the Hornets the lead, and I'm sure that's a bit of a relief after going 90 minutes without scoring against STMA a few weeks ago. They get an early opener here, and will be interesting to see how that changes the dynamic of this game with STMA now needing to go for goal.
It's a bit of a dirty goal, as they call it, for the Hornets, you know, with the bouncing ball and kind of knocking it in off the rebound. But the Hornets had a lot of chances early in the season where those balls did not go in. This time they're able to capitalize, and that's been part of their great run of form, is just taking advantage of opportunities when they're presented.
And I've been impressed so far with Edina coming off that game last night. It was certainly a tough game. Washburn's a good opponent over there in South Minneapolis, just down 50th Street. But to come out this quickly, putting this much pressure on, not showing much sign of fatigue, and there haven't been any subs yet either that I've noticed, although as I say that, Joe Manzer's coming over to the touch line, and I think he started. So there has been a sub at some point, but point remains, it's been a good, strong start, and Edina showing a lot of energy early.
Free kick in, but it's played well over the front line of attack and into the waiting arms of the Knight goalkeeper. The Knights look to break quickly. Chin anticipating well, turning the ball back to his keeper and snuffing out the Knight attack. Parrish with the pressure, and that forces a Hornet throw in. But we're going to pause for our substitutes. Also coming in for the Knights, Maverick Neef and Fred Poto. Poto, a threat for the Knights with 4 goals and 4 assists. So these are some dangerous players coming in off the bench for the Knights. Through ball attempt, snuffed out. Ball down the sideline, great chase. That's number 9 Manzer coming back in with some energy, saving the ball and keeping the attack alive. Poto tried to make a little move to get the ball, but ultimately was ineffective. However, they do win the throw.
Yeah, that was some good piece of skill there by Poto just to win it back.
Alkire with the steal coming in. Attempted shot, and keeper for the Knights well off his line. That's Shirk being alert, hopping off his line and snuffing out the attack before the Hornets could get a shot or a cross.
It was well done by Shirk, but I'd like to see the defender there for STMA maybe put the ball out and just concede the corner. It was a pretty dangerous spot there, and Diedrichs got pretty close to getting an effort on goal.
.50-50 ball, and it is for your Hornets. Another chance for a throw-in the offensive area. Not a lot of motion, but throwing in, Edina keeps possession. That's Parrish looking for some room in the middle. Little confusion from the Hornets on who's got the ball, and it ends up in a turnover, but the Knights don't keep it for long. That's great anticipation by the Edina D to turn it back.
Yeah, that's Cohen Fritz over there at the left back spot, the sophomore. He's been really good since coming into the starting lineup. Shows a lot of energy there at left back. He had a particularly good game defensively against Eden Prairie, who has a very dangerous attack. And I think Fritz will maybe get a chance today to show more of his attacking ability.
Hornets sitting 3rd in the Lake, but having wins over the teams in front of them in Minnetonka and Wayzata. So obviously a dangerous team that perhaps is peaking at the right time of year. That's Parrish with the turn, finding some room in a through ball. Can Diedrichs get it? No, a nice little turn by the Knight defender. And we head back the other way. Knights not seeming to want to dribble or play small passes. They seem to be looking for long balls to challenge the back line. Strategy hasn't worked yet, but it seems like it's part of what they're looking to do.
Yeah, and often that is the strategy of a lot of teams that come here to Kuhlman Stadium, looking to hit those long balls and those quick counterattacks. And the longer that Edina has the ball and pushes into St. Michael's half, the more those might become available, as often it's just 1 or 2 players left in the Edina half. So they could be susceptible to that as the game goes on, but for now, all Edina in possession.
Timlin checking in for the Knights. He's got a couple goals and a couple assists on the season as well. And we have more substitutes with Kai Newton, the sophomore, coming in for the Hornets. Number 30, Nathan Schwartz, junior midfielder, coming in for the Knights. Long throw for Jackson Holly. A little too much shove in the back, and that'll be a free kick opportunity for the Knights, although still in their defensive half. Holly leaped, the ball went under his feet. The Knights were fortunate to get possession. That's Johnson playing the ball in, Parrish with the header to clear. All the way back to the Knight defense. Let's see if they can start over. Good battle between Poto.
Yeah, strong battle there between Fred Poto and Joe Manzer. It's like a pretty fair fight. I don't know if there was a foul in there, but either way, Dino was going to come away with the ball. But Poto he's got some skill, yes, some energy that he's bringing to this STMA team, and I think it's going to be interesting to watch him on this left-hand side here for however long he's in the game.
That's a terrific ball in, just in the danger zone in front of the 6-yard box. It's right where you want to put a free kick, sometimes out of the reach of the goalkeeper. That time he was able to race forward and claim it. And the Knights maintain possession. That's Johnson with the ball playing forward, losing it. But a quick effort to move it forward by Alkire gets snuffed out. Ball played back to the Knight keeper. Johnson bringing it forward. And bend don't break. Dyna defense seemed content to wait for him to come to halfway. And then tighten up and trying to get him to turn the ball over. That was a great header by Manser to maintain the Edina possession in the attack. Manser getting the ball back on the wing now. Playing it in, was a little low though. And the Knights' Timlin was able to control it. That's Schwartz. Edina with Newton playing wide. But the ball rolled over the end line to the protests of the Hornets, but it will be a throw-in nonetheless to the Knights. Holly playing the ball forward. Manser playing back to Holly. Parrish. Ball cleared out briefly by the Knights, but not for long. And here come your Hornets again. That is Fritz playing the ball in. It turned aside by the Knights. Knights really being a little careless in the defensive end, getting the ball and then playing passes that too often turn into turnovers. This time they get it forward. And there will be another Knight free kick off the Edina foul.
Yeah, and there's Poto again. You mentioned before he maybe gave the ball away once, but he works hard to win it back and got a step on Jackson Hawley, who was forced to just bring him down, fouling a free kick for St. Michael to relieve some pressure temporarily.
The Knights so far favored the left side. Now they're going to try the right. See if there's some opportunities there, and there is not, as the Edina quickly turns the ball back over, and that is a delicious through ball. Alkire coming through. Can he get around the Knight defense? No, he'll play it back, maintaining Hornet possession. Hornets looking for a cross. Nothing to be found. And here come the Knights on a counter. Oh, excellent anticipation by the Hornets before that could be too much trouble. It turns into a quick opportunity for the Hornets, but again, that is snuffed out by the keeper coming off his line.
Very aggressive by the senior captain, Hawley, wasn't it? He stepped all the way into midfield to cut off that pass. If he doesn't get there in time, Poto is in a ton of space up the left, might even be through on goal. So an aggressive play by Hawley, and he made it work.
Definitely all in on that one. But again, Hornets in the right place at the right time. Once in a while, these Knights are gifting them the ball. And it's forcing the Knights on their heels to play a little bit of frantic defense. Captain Swanda bringing the ball well forward from his defensive position. Nice little drawback move. Again, the Hornets seem content to let the Knights dribble up to the 30-40 yard line and then stiffen and then try and turn the ball right back. Through ball attempted, but striker wasn't ready for that run. And the opportunity goes awry for the Hornets.
I think you're seeing the Knights grow in confidence a little bit in this game. They're knocking the ball around a little more than they were before.
A little more possession play, a little less long ball from the Knights. So far, it hasn't turned into a challenging opportunity. Goalkeeper Austin for the Hornets has pretty much just touched the ball with his feet on possession play. Again, a turnover, but a bad first touch for the Hornets, and the opportunity isn't there, and it turns back to the Knights. Parrish controlling. Swanda had a chance, lost possession, but the ball falls harmlessly back to Shin on the back line for the Hornets.
I think the Edina bench may be sensing a little bit of that shift in momentum. Not much necessarily, but they're readying 3 subs on the touchline to get some fresh legs in the game.
Yeah, that back-to-back influence. You imagine they do want to keep some fresh legs. Prevent from any players from getting tired or injured heading into a crucial part of the year. Shot for the Knights. That was number 12, Carter Miller, I believe, the leading scorer. He has 8 goals on the year for the Knights, but that was not a shot that was going to challenge the Hornets. Austin easily scoops it up.
I think it might have been the first shot on target, though, for St. Michael, and just wanting to see something go on goal.
Little through ball, dangerous, well played in the air. Diedrichs can't quite get to it, though, just a little beyond his reach. Sometimes that happens on the turf. The ball just gets a little farther ahead. And also on a wet turf. There's been rain, and sometimes that ball gets a little skippy, and the passes get a little farther ahead than the players intend. Pressure again. Will it pay? And indeed it does. Loose ball goes to Parrish. But the retreating Knight defense catches him from behind, knocks the ball off his leg. Knights with the ball. Poto with a little shoving, but in this case, it was not enough to draw the whistle from the ref, and play continues, with Newton controlling the middle while losing the ball. It's 12 Carter Miller making a move, trying to get his Knights into the attack. And a little too much contact that time. The Hornets will get a free kick in the offensive half.
Yeah, the other player putting in a really good shift at the moment for Edina, number 19, Jackson Parrish. He's pressing hard, winning the ball back a lot. And as a player maybe inserted into the lineup in the place of Sammy Prestis, he's doing a good job pressing.
We'll see if Parrish can channel a little of his dad's pro hockey moves and find a goal for the Hornets. 4 Hornets coming in and a major change.
So it will be Parrish, the aforementioned Parrish, Carson Diedrichs, Andy Alkire, and looks like Henry Denault coming out for the Hornets as they make a mass substitution here. 15.5 to go in the first half.
Among the players coming in for the Hornets, 8, Jack Wetzel, a 4-year player on the varsity team, now in his senior year.
Yeah, Wetzel, a good versatile player for the Hornets. He can be used at fullback. We see him a little bit higher up the wing as well. Could even do a little bit of a job in central midfield, like Finley Smith is right here.
Oh, a lovely pass between the center backs, and a goal for the Hornets, 2-0. An absolute seeing eye pass that split the center backs, finding the Hornet attacker, and a lovely finish beyond the keeper into the net. We have Newton on the goal there.
I believe it was Harry Chapdelaine, number 6 there on the goal, but you mentioned it. All set up by Finley Smith. Absolutely fantastic through ball, just splitting the defenders right up the middle. Chapdelaine just had to put it either side of the keeper. He managed to do so. Edina with a 2-0 lead in the last 15 minutes here of the first half.
That is a lot of impact right away for a substitute. And Chapdelaine scoring his 2nd goal on the year.
2 substitutes, in fact. Finley Smith had just come on in that substitute as well. So the fresh legs pay off, and Coach Dave Jensen with a stroke of genius there, if you will.
Feeling good about that one, no doubt. Hornets throw. Long throw in to the shielding Manser. He tried to maintain possession. The ball squirted past him out for a goal kick. But the Hornets again showing their new goal-scoring chops. 2 goals early in the game and in a good position to keep the roll going. Pressure by Manser. Does it result in a turnover? It does not. Well, yes, and naturally it does. As the Knights try to maintain possession, flop the ball out of bounds. Holly with the throw long. And it earns a corner, the first corner of the day. Opportunity for the Hornets to get the bigs coming forward, see if they can get their head on the ball and get a 3rd goal.
Yeah, it took a long time for us to get our first corner kick for either side. Chapdelaine will hit it with the right foot.
Indeed, there is a header just over the top with a diving header, tough to control, tough to get on target. It had a lot of power, had a lot of opportunity, but it went over the top.
Yeah, great ball there by Chapdelaine as he just drives it hard to the back post. A lot of pace on it. Holly up for the header. Defense or keeper not able to deal with it, but just couldn't quite keep the header down. Really good ball, though. Really good corner by Harry Chapdelaine, who just scored a moment ago.
Tommy Sevin, the junior, as a substitute for the Hornets. A self-service there attempt by Gracevaro of the Knights. Hornets weren't buying it, though, and they quickly turned the ball out. Hodo getting the leg high, trying to maintain possession. Loses the ball, though. Possession returned by the Knights briefly. A little turnaround move there. That was number 7, Dylan Malik. Not able to maintain possession, though, and the Hornets look to strike. Manser down the line, cross in. Center back steps up and knocks it out of play, or knocks it out of the box anyway. Another low cross. Ball played out, but not far enough, and the Hornets maintain the attack. Swanda playing in. Bouncing ball gets out to the wide side. Manser find a way in. No, just cross it in to a host of waiting Hornets. And a shot, turnaround shot right on target, but right at the goalkeeper.
That was a good strike by Tommy Sieve. He got a lot of power on that, as you mentioned. Just took one bounce to control it.
Look at these super subs, creating opportunities right out of the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great spell of play there for Edina. Started originally up the right side, a nice piece of play. They were able to hit the overlap to Manser, and he got a ball into the box. And again, STMA just not quite able to get it far enough out of the box. They've been struggling with their clearances, and it's just leading to more and more pressure from Edina.
Yeah, oftentimes an attempted clearance, and it just doesn't get far enough in the midfield line. The Hornets is just waiting for the ball. Steve with the header. Captain Swanda. Oh, a lovely shield to maintain the ball also briefly for the Hornets, but then ultimately lost and turned over to Johnson. Now that may have been a shot but it was off the side foot. It was either a pass or a shot, but the end result, regardless, is a throw-in for the Hornets deep in their defensive zone. Throw into Shin. Play back out on possession. Forward ball, but the strikers for the Hornets were pressed back. That ball didn't challenge the Knights too much. Little tic-tac play by the Knights as they look to start something up. Quick turn by Gracevaro. He's shown some skill moves early in the half, but not able to maintain possession after making those crafty moves on the ball.
STMA tried to take that throw quickly, but unfortunately were unable because they were trying to make their own substitution. Carter Miller coming back in, their leading scorer.
See if they can get some opportunities on the offensive end now with Miller back in the game. Long drifting ball, Knight throw in. That's good hustle by hopeful shot, I guess we can call it, but a shot nonetheless as a result of the Knight attack, but it goes well out and wide, and it is a Hornet goal kick.
Didn't come to anything in the end, but it was a good reversal by Alex Johnson, who was just kind of cutting in field from his left back spot. He was able to send in a dangerous ball with the right foot that led to a throw-in in the corner for STMA. They weren't able to do anything with it, but just a little bit of a sign of life.
Johnson's really been involved so often the play when the Knights have the ball, he's doing something with it. Ooh, just a little bit too far. Sieve looking to pass it out wide, and it rolled out for a Knight throw. Just under 8 minutes left in the half. It's hard to believe that this really is late in the season. Only 2 regular season games left on the Hornets schedule, maybe 3 with a reschedule, but point being that the season goes so fast, and they're already looking towards the end of the season, looking towards playoffs, seeing if they can make some noise in sectionals and maybe even state.
Yeah, the Hornets have a big game against Minnetonka on, looks like Tuesday night, and then it will be back here on Thursday to face Hopkins in what could be the season finale, although I think you mentioned a reschedule that we're looking to confirm, but 2 games left in late conference play for sure, and Edina's making a late season push up the standings. Could finish as high as first, although Wayzata will control their own destiny.
Chapdelaine, shot and wide. Chapdelaine did a great job, slide tackle of sorts to maintain possession for the Hornets. Turn it back, he passed it out, then received the cross from his own efforts. Shot wide though. The Knights turn the ball back out on the goal kick. Oh. 2 players chopping for the ball. Neither really got it, but the Hornets maintain possession. A Manser cross hits Knight defender right in the stomach, and that one hurts. He's down on one knee, and we're going to have a stoppage of play.
Yeah, that was a heavy challenge there in midfield. Jackson Hawley going in for the ball, and he was met there by Riley Rohr in midfield for STMA, who I think got a bit of a touch on Hawley. Referee played the advantage, but don't think he's going to do much other than that. Just a good hard challenge by both, but you're living on the edge a little bit when you dive in like that for both parties.
That's Malik for the Knights that goes out of the game. He looks all right. Looks like just had the wind knocked out of him, but he's going to take a moment and recover. Meanwhile, they have a Hornet throw.
Yeah, it was well done by Malik to get in the way of the cross, but he definitely paid for that one a little bit, hitting him right in the midsection.
Sieve's pass is cut out, and that results in a Hornet throw. You get the skip they're looking for. They can't. Attempted volley goes wide. There was contact, though, by the defender, and we do have a corner kick. Second of the day for the Hornets. Chapdelaine to send it in. Swanda making some bumps and moves, looking for a chance. Ball got close, but he didn't quite get to him and is cleared. Again, not very far. And the Hornet midfield line is there to try and maintain possession. Ball played back this time. Shin under a little bit of pressure. Just clears it forward.
Another really good corner by Harry Chapdelaine as he drove that in pretty much right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Keeper Evan Shirk had to be sure of himself as he came and got a punch to it. Good goalkeeping.
We have a stoppage here. Nope, brief it was. Hornet throw. Throwing for the Knights. Again, moving the ball up the left sideline. Here's the throw in the middle and a creative attempt at a pass by Schwartz, trying to split the Hornet D. Did not, though. Knights try and maintain possession and keep the pressure on. They cannot. And that'll be a throw to the Hornets. Steve to throw it in.
STMA seems to really be looking to keep the Hornets off balance with those throw-ins. They take them very quickly, hoping to maybe get a chance in behind before Edina can settle into their defensive posture.
It's like Catan playing some pesky D there. Danger ball. That one's hopping right in. Is it going to get? That was a tough question for the Hornet keeper. Whether it was a back pass that he had to play with his feet or where they could have picked it up. He elected to play with his feet. And the danger chance for the Knights goes awry as the ball is cleared. Ball in the middle. That's 15 for the Hornets. Is that O'Brien? Chance. Possession lost, though. The ball goes back into the Hornet defensive end for a Hornet throw.
That was a really nice piece of play up the left. Cohen Fritz put a good ball in. Just a subtle little flick on by Chapdelaine, and Tommy O'Brien almost got around the last defender. That would have been a really good counterattack for the Hornets, but just missed.
There was open country there.
Yeah, STMA defense across just at the right moment to make an intervention on that, but it was close.
Tired legs, but 3 minutes left. So see if both teams can kind of fight through any fatigue and make it away to the end of the first half. Ball thrown out, or ball knocked out, and that will be a Knight throw-in. Chance for a long cross in. Shin there, digging down for the header. Whoa, that was a dangerous play. I believe that was Steve heading the ball back to his keeper to maintain possession. He had to get that one just right. He had to get enough on it because there was a Knight striker bearing down.
Yeah, and we're seeing Steve play in defense here today. Certainly a big, tall body, but he usually plays up on the forward line. So just a couple moments of maybe slight uncertainty, and there's another one there.
Playing in the Captain Holly's role at the moment, it appears. 9 Anderson with throw for the Knights. Ball played wide, and here will be a chance for the Knights to throw it in, which they do. But there really wasn't any attackers there to take advantage of it for the Knights. They attempt a shot high and wide, and it will be a Hornet goal kick. I believe that was Schwartz again. He's had a couple hopeful attempts from long range, but really hasn't found the connection yet to challenge the Hornet keeper. Everybody up, and here's the kick. Schwartz made an attempt at it. It's over the top of his head. Hornets play it forward. Pressure coming from the Hornets, and it does pay with a turnover. Shot long, no, pass wide. Trying to find Mansour, I believe, down the sideline, but the ball is just a bit too long. It'll be a Knight goal kick.
STMA got themselves in trouble there in defense. I think there was a couple opportunities to maybe use the goalkeeper to just try to send it long into midfield, but they did and eventually turned it over. Edina couldn't quite find the pass though, but another dangerous chance there for Edina, forcing a turnover in midfield.
Through ball played. Shin with a strong header to turn it wide. See, playing it up and almost had a chance there with a strike with Chapdelaine, but it just got beyond him. Knights will see if they can build it up. Ooh, a great one-touch pass to find some space in the middle. That's 32 Grassavano, who's trying to maintain possession. Does not, and see if the Hornets have a chance to attack with O'Brien moving the ball forward. Chapdelaine looking to shield and maintain possession. He cannot, as the Knight defender steps up to make the play. Little battle there goes the Hornets' way, and it will be a free kick for the Hornets. I believe it was Finley Smith who was fouled.
They'll have to take it quick. We're in the final few seconds.
2-1. Nope. And that's the half. A productive, exciting half for the Hornets, leading 2-0 against St. Michael. Welcome back to a suddenly sunny Kuhlman Field. The rain's moved off. Sunshine, at least briefly, out on an otherwise cloudy day. It's going to make it hot on the turf. The lads from Edina and St. Michael Albertville as they get ready for this second half, with the Hornets leading 2-0, looking to maintain a run of unbeaten form that's lasted now 9, holy cow, 10 games. That is a long stretch without a loss and an impressive run for your Hornets.
Yeah, and a huge game coming up later this week against Minnetonka on Tuesday night, 5 p.m. out at Tonka. That could be potentially for second place in the Lake Conference, and also, as we just discussed a little bit at halftime, could have a lot to do with section seeding as well as we get closer here to playoff time.
Yeah, you could argue that a sweep over Tonka wouldn't be a good thing because there's been a history for Edina and Tonka for that third sectional game to go against the run of play from the prior games, but who knows, we'll see. And I know that the Hornets will be looking to take that game and move up the Lake Conference standings.
And Wayzata is off today, at least in Lake Conference play. They'll play St. Paul Central this afternoon. So Wayzata will stay at 6-2 in Lake Conference play. They have, just checking the schedule here, they'll play Eden Prairie on Tuesday night, then be at Buffalo on Thursday. So if they can win both of those games, Wayzata will take the Lake Conference crown, but that Eden Prairie game will be a tough one. Eagles are having a pretty good season.
Yeah, the Eagles have been tough on the Hornets, certainly. Tying, and Eden Prairie beat the Hornets for the Hornets' last loss of the season so far. So Eden Prairie looking to be a factor, even if they are pretty far down the standings in the Lake Conference.
And then Minnetonka, they play out at Buffalo High School today, so a game that they will certainly hope to win. Then they host Edina on Tuesday. They'll finish at these Knights on Thursday against St. Michael Albertville. And talk about Minnetonka, that's a team in some really good form right now. They beat Hopkins 5-1, and they're coming off a 7-1 thrashing of the Eden Prairie Eagles. So that clash between Edina and Minnetonka will be one to look forward to on Tuesday.
A 1-0 victory earlier in the year for the Hornets being that much more impressive. And a squeaker at that. We're back underway here. Second half starting. The Knights looking to play the long ball. Ball played around to Shin, to Parrish, then turned over. That's a hustle by Diedrichs, coming back from his strike spot to disrupt the Knight attack. And the ball's cleared long.
It's one thing when you watch these Hornets play enough, the strikers are always getting back defensively, and I think that's Captain Sammy Prestis sort of setting that tone. He's always dropping deep into midfield to win the ball. He's great. He has great hold-up play with his back to goal, so I think that's really the standard of forward play for this Edina program. You got to be able to get back defensively.
Story of the game, though, is that Prestis has yet to be in the game. Leading scorer for the Hornets having a siesta on the bench, and maybe he's, whether by injury or just for rest after playing yesterday, maybe he'll be allowed, with the Hornets leading 2-0, to sit this one out. We'll see.
Yeah, and we'll hope it's nothing serious. The good news for Prestis, we did see him. He is dressed. He's in uniform here today. Had the track jacket on before the game. So hopefully it's just precautionary for rest. Another captain, Ryan Swanda, missed a game or two earlier this year, but he's back and healthy here. So hopefully just precautionary for Sammy.
Knights playing it around. But again, with the loose ball, turning it over, or at least having a chance at a turnover, and then 50-50 ball here. Parrish battling for it and getting a little too much. Knight midfielder. It is a free kick. That was Gracevaro for the Knights battling for the ball and winning the free kick for his team.
I think they call that a professional foul, right? Just don't let them get the turn on you. Don't let them get into the space.
Yeah, absolutely. Long play forward. Greeted by a Knight defender, or excuse me, a Hornet defender. But the Knights maintain possession. A little bit of a sloppy or a hopeful ball. Parrish picks it off. Pass back to Swanda, who looks to play it forward, but with the old left kick, it Dribbles off the side of his foot and out of bounds, and it'll be a Knight throw.
Thought Edina maybe had a chance to break forward there and use some of that space. Instead, they turned back to Swanda, just going with some methodical play here to begin the second half. STMA seeing a little bit more of the ball, at least here in the first few minutes.
Knight bench getting very excited by a little move by Ortiz to find some space for himself down the sideline. Knight throw. Off the throw, the ball is skipped into the box, but an alert shin clears the ball to the sideline. Another Knight throw.
I liked that piece of play, though, by Dylan Ortiz for St. Michael. He just tried to flick header toward the middle of the box, put it in a dangerous area, and like you said, shin had to be alert, and was.
Yeah, it's going to take some creative play to crack the Hornet defense, or a mistake by the Hornets, so a mistake they haven't seemed unlikely. That's Holly shadowing on the sidelines. Not letting the Knight attacker turn, or certainly get by him. However, the ball does get knocked off his foot off the end line, and that will be the first corner, I believe, for your Knights today.
Yeah, Dylan Anderson just forcing the issue a little bit up that right side.
Lefty swinging in a short ball, but a bad ball that's picked off by the Hornets on an attack with a 2-on-1 opportunity. Diedrich breaking wide on the left. Defenders get back. The ball is cleared.
Really nice interception by Joe Manzer and a nice run. He had a chance maybe to try to play Diedrichs in, but just waited a little too long, and Diedrichs eventually drifted offside. It will be a throw-in, though, for the Hornets.
Holly taking his time, letting the clock run, and looking to set up what is likely a long throw, with Hornets gathering in the box. Here comes the whip. Does reach the 6-yard box. Parrish gets his head on it, but not a lot of pop. And the Knights are able to clear it out. Swanda gets fooled on the ball. That was Malik making a play. He's got an open Knight attacker, elects to turn the ball back and play it down the sideline to Ortiz. Will he get across? He's got two Hornet defenders there to carry him out of bounds, and then they take the ball right back.
Good piece of play by Ryan Swanda. He did get turned originally by Dylan Malik. I think he maybe regretted not putting the ball out, but he made a really good recovery run to force that ball out wide, and eventually a couple Hornet defenders just shepherded it to the end line. Ortiz waited just a second too long to put that ball in the box.
Yeah, that was an opportunity with a wide open attacker streaking right down. Didn't come to pass. Now the Hornets look to turn the ball back. 19 Parrish absorbing the blow and getting the ball right back on a give and go, finding a through ball. Keeper's out off his line. And another alert play by the keeper. That's Shirk. Well, it looks like we have a substitute, Bach, coming in for the Knights. And another alert keeper play to keep the game at 2-0 Hornets.
Yeah, we think it's Jacob Baki, 0-0 versus 0, but I guess we're not totally sure. Either way, it was a really nice piece of play by Baki, I suppose. He comes out and closes down the angle on Diedrichs and makes a nice save, but well done by Jackson Parrish. That was a great little through ball to just find the channel to get it to Diedrichs.
Long throw, gets Hornet possession in the box. Diedrichs passing back out for a pass right back in. Mallet seeing something that wasn't there, though, and it went right to a Knight defender. The Knight defender just plays it long. His attackers weren't in any position to catch up to the ball he played forward. The Knights spin it out of bounds, and we have a Hornet throw at midfield.
There was a lot of space in midfield there, but like you said, the math equation just didn't quite add up. It was about 3 STMA attackers to 4 or 5 back for the Hornets, but if they can get a couple more numbers forward, they might have some opportunities here down the stretch.
Zalkire controlling in the middle. Lost possession briefly, but it went out of bounds off the Knight foot. Hornet throw. Once again playing for the long throw, even from the 20-yard line on the football hash. He's going to whip it in. And he does. It's got Parrish, the tall Parrish, looking for the ball. Gets headed out before he can get to it, though.
Yeah, and that's, go ahead. That's a big part of the offense for Edina is those Jackson Hawley long throw-ins. It netted them 2 goals in the season opener against Wayzata. Haven't seen the end product since then, but he certainly has the strength to get that ball into the box.
Often doesn't matter if that ball can clear the first line of defenders and then bounce. Who knows what happens from that point on. Forward ball from Shin, trying to find Diedrich. Does find Wetzel. Parrish playing in the middle. Parrish finding some room to dribble in the last few minutes. Plays off to Wetzel. Just happy to maintain possession and keep the Hornets with the ball in the lead. Fritz playing the ball in. Again, the Knights kind of playing to no man land, but there we have a turnover. Swanda playing the ball forward, but it went right to a Knight foot. Hornets quickly back and alert. Prevent any trouble there and turn it into an opportunity. Diedrich trying to find space in the box amid 3 defenders. There's a cross in. Just goes off the end line though with a deflection. We have a Hornet corner kick.
Yeah, Alkire getting in around the area with Carson Diedrichs as well. They just force it off a Knight for a corner kick. Edina scored in the aftermath of a long throw-in earlier. It wasn't a corner, but a similar chance to get a ball into the box.
To the back post where the Hornets have gathered. They hit a bunch of them and knocked right to a Knight defender to play it out. Knight striker, though, was just overmatched with 3 or 4 defenders, which is going to be a theme now if the Hornets are content to play the defense back a little bit. Those forward balls are going to find a lot of green in the Knights trying. Cross in. Parrish gets a foot on it, but can't quite connect to make a shot. It turns back to the Knights.
Fantastic cross there by Jackson Hawley. Parrish tried to volley. It would have been fantastic if he connected, but the senior Hawley putting in just a peach of a cross.
12 Miller for the Knights granted a lot of room to try and move forward. But again, a pass goes awry. Hornets gain the ball, and then we have some contact and a Hornet free kick.
Heavy challenge there by Riley Rohr, a bit of a body check, as it looks like Fred Poto set to come back in for STMA. He showed a lot of good energy and skill in the first half, so I'm curious to see what he'll be able to do here in the second half as we have under 30 minutes remaining.
Swanda throws it forward all the way into the box. There's Diedrich. The Knight defender heads it out before it can get to him. Again, not good numbers for the Knights. There was 3 attackers against 6 Hornet defenders. And the result's just what you'd think. It ended up being Hornet possession. Ball goes back, but we do end up with a Knight throw-in. Poto coming in for Grassavaro. Kind of play in that central midfield area and see if he can create something.
Knights are readying a couple more subs as Maverick Neef and Jared Timlin, a pair of sophomores, set to come back in the game.
Each with a pair of goals to the season, so they're capable. Alkire battling for the ball. Good shield by the Knight defender. And we have a Hornet throw in. Players heading forward in the anticipation of another long throw. See if he can crank up another fastball, and he does. Parrish misses on the flick. Ball falls to the Knight defenders. It's cleared, but it goes right to Hawley. He's working on the end line. Looks for a cross, doesn't get it, but he does get a corner kick.
That was so well done by Jackson Hawley. You saw the touch was perfect to get the ball back under his control, and then just forced the defender all the way to the end line where he could just hit it off them for a corner. He didn't have the space to get across him, but a veteran move there, just win your team a corner.
Alcar coming to the sidelines to get some advice from the coaches. We'll see what they have in store from. Whoa, and meanwhile, we have a corner kick shot. I believe we just had a double post sighting, people. Volley off the corner, hitting the post, rebound, hitting the post, and it stays 2-0 Hornets with no third goal to be had.
Yeah, the big captain, Ryan Swanda, up for the header there, rattling the crossbar. Rebound fell to Joe Manzer, and I couldn't tell. I think the keeper might have saved it or got a piece of it. Then it might have come off the post as well, but a double chance for the Hornets, as you said well, to extend the lead to 3. As it stands, still just 2-0. Best chance of the half, though, for either team.
Best 2 chances.
Absolutely.
Swanda with a favorable position in the offensive half to throw it in. Hornets taking up residence off the far post, looking to make some runs in. Spinner finds the foot. I believe that was Diedrichs who tried to play it forward, but it got through the defense and threw everything and out of bounds for goal kick.
That was pretty close. Diedrichs, as you said, came to play it. Just tried to cushion it off to Jackson Hawley. It was a little bit too strong for him as he was making his run, but a good look off the set play there. As STMA will make those subs now. Some more fresh legs in for the Knights as they trail by 2, 25 minutes or so to go in the game.
Swanda with possession. Trying an outside touch long ball to play it forward. Almost finds Wetzel on the attack, but the ball bounces out of bounds.
Yeah, Swanda can hit those long diagonals for sure.
Turn over to Holly. Looks to move it forward quickly. Intercepted by the Knights. Bouncing ball on their defensive end, but they maintain control. Oh! And a hard volley. It's hard to, I don't know where it hit Parrish, but it knocked him straight over. And we are going to have a pause while we look, he gets attended to. The volley that hit him on the fly, and that one looked like it hurt.
Yeah, some friendly fire there from one of his midfielders. As Parrish getting attended to at the moment. It definitely caught him up high. Don't know if it was the shoulder or above that, but we'll pause for just a moment as with an injury timeout.
And we're back with, looks like Tommy O'Brien set to replace injured Parrish. Trainers with him will get some water and hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, Parrish has been a big influence on the game here today. He's looked pretty good in midfield, playing with Finley Smith. Both of that pair has been pretty good in forcing turnovers and creating chances for Edina, so hopefully Jackson's okay.
In general, the central midfield has been Edina's this game. A little pressure this time by the Knights, but Chin plays back to the keeper. Alertly knocks it forward. And on his horse, that was Fritz winning the ball, and if playing it forward, Diedrich looking to get around 2 Knight defenders. He has some options. Wetzel throwing it in. Alert defense prevents that from getting anywhere, and the Knights turn around with an attacking option. That was quickly turned around by Finley Smith, though. That was nice defense, because up ahead, there was a trainload of Knight attackers looking for an opportunity.
Great challenge by Finley Smith, as you said, to dispossess Poto in midfield. A lot of space if he's able to get past Finley.
And a good anticipation this time by Swanda, seeing the through ball, slide tackle, knocking the ball forward all the way to the Knight box. And the Knights will try again.
Yeah, Swanda just so versatile in this team. I mean, how much ground does he cover in a game? All the way out to the far side to make that sliding challenge, and then he sprints right back into the middle. Just such a key cog for this Hornet team.
Part of a Swanda tradition of great Hornet soccer here for the last few years. His sister Haley, a player, she was on the JV team recently, but she is now a trainer or a manager for the varsity boys team on the sideline today. Throw in for the Knights. Just under 23 minutes left. Malik takes a swing and tries to get the ball in. Hopeful ball searching forward, but the Knights gets turned away and back to the Knight defense to try and bring the ball in again.
Yet another decisive clearance by Jacob Shin. We haven't called his name a lot today, but always impressed by his ability to just stay focused and make the smart play. And when he clears it, it typically gets, you know, to its destination. He's able to clear it thoroughly.
O'Brien playing laterally, looking to play the through ball down the sideline. Just a little wide. Goes out of bounds. We'll have a Knight throw in. Schwartz back in for the Knights, and that is 11, Kyle Nickelbein. In for the Hornets, in what looks like a forward attacking role, replacing Diedrichs. He's working hard there, challenging for the ball on several occasions in the last few minutes. Swanda heads forward, finding Wetzel. That was Fritz playing forward. Knights again trying to find that through ball, but it's not there with Swanda anticipating and knocking the ball back. Knights seem to be trying to play balls down the channels in the open areas, but Hornet defenders have been anticipating and cutting a lot of those passes off before they even have a chance to threaten the goal.
And that's where, of course, Ryan Swanda, Jacob Shin, and others come in, as they're able to move laterally so well. They just cut off so much of that service.
Ball thrown in on the cross, right to the feet of Swanda, who quickly plays forward. So Elkire playing the ball forward to O'Brien. O'Brien gets channeled, he absorbs the blow but keeps the ball. See if he can find some room. He doesn't have a lot of attack though. The Hornets were kind of coming up slowly on this possession. Through ball played to O'Brien. It is a shot. Kind of a tweener shot that caught the keeper of two minds. He ultimately was able to play it with a little bit of a hop, corral it, get the ball for a punt.
Yeah, O'Brien just whipping that one in with his left foot. Not a ton of power on the shot, but the keeper almost spilled it back into the path of Finley Smith. Fortunately able to corral it.
Wetzel turns, Shields takes the ball. Here's the call from the attacking striker. That's O'Brien, who is making a knifing run in. He does keep the ball in play. Finds Nickelbein. The ball cleared. The Knights take possession. Looking to attack. Schwartz not able to get the ball forward or cut the ball between two approaching Hornet defenders. The Hornets play the ball forward to the Knight keeper. Wetzel again absorbing the blow, finding an open cutting midfielder. That's Manser looking for space. Does he have a left? He looked to play the ball through, but the Knight defense was up to that pass. Turned it back. Bad first touch from Wetzel results in Knights keeping the possession and looking for a chance to attack for Poto. Shin, not liking the situation, just clears the ball, allowing his defense to get back. So the Hornet defense can reset.
I think that's one of the best parts of Jacob Shin's game is, like I said earlier, just so decisive with the ball. He's not afraid to put it out, and he just puts it out early and lets his team reset. Just a truly good fundamental defender there on the back line for the Hornets, number 16.
I believe it's number 13, Ian Caton, coming in for Edina on the substitute. Meanwhile, we have a corner kick for the Knights. You never know, this is where a chance, a squibbed ball, a deflection, something funky could happen and turn the tide of the game. In this case, though, the cross clears everyone and goes out of bounds on the opposite end line. Despite a sprinting Manser trying to save possession, tripping and flying off onto the asphalt of the track. Hopefully he's all right. He looks fine. Senior Ben Harkin coming in for the Knights.
Alex Johnson will come off, maybe temporarily. We'll see. He's been really solid over at left back today. As Knights will ready another sub here, Dylan Ortiz will return to the game, and he will replace Andrew Butkowski.
Yeah, muggy day, 70 minutes of soccer already in. A little fatigue can set in. See if those substitutes can create a little burst of energy for both teams. Nice splitting ball that finds Alcar in the middle. Alcar has room to roam in the middle. Passes it forward to Nickelbein. Back to Smith. And now some bouncing balls that finally Edina controls and passes back to Swanda. Forward ball. Edina takes possession. Outside the 18-yard box. Elkhart, does he have a shot? No. Has a nifty little pass move. Let's find the on-running Hornet attacker. A few passes and opportunities there for the Hornets, but ultimately the Knights stuffed them out. And it will be a Knight throw-in.
It's a good long ball there by the Knights. Haven't seen those too often here in the second half, but just forced Shin to put it out.
Which he is content to do again when you have a lead. Safety first in those kinds of high-pressure situations. Knights really pressing forward, and it could cost them. Their sweeper was all the way at half line. That gives Holly a chance to run right at him and maybe right by him. Oh, Holly did find his opportunity on his right foot. Keeper did a good job to cut off the angle, though, and prevent that from being 3-0 Hornets.
Yeah, Jacob Baki off his line. He's been aggressive here since coming in at halftime, so well done by the keeper there for the Knights.
Ooh. That was a tough decision for the Knight defender, whether to play it out and risk a corner. Ultimately, he does deflect it off of Holly, and it goes out for a goal kick. Short ball this time. Knights look to build up. Ball's turned back. Lefty punt forward, well forward. And it does result in Knight possession and a dangerous through ball. Again, though, the numbers are in favor of the Hornets back when that ball goes forward. In that case, it falls to Swanda, who clears. Alakar looking to play it into O'Brien. believe that was Smithers, the Knight defender, took care of that. Shin plays it forward for the Hornets. Good hustle play, keeps the ball in play for the Hornets. And Knights content to play it back to their goalkeeper. Start a new attack. Through ball all the way through to Fritz, who plays it forward again. In a dangerous spot. That was Nickelbein charging on the keeper. Keeper comes up high to the edge of his 18 box to maintain possession.
Yeah, I don't think Baki was quite as decisive that time. Thought maybe the defender was going to deal with it as he had to get a sprint on there to finally get there. Nickelbein had to check his run a little bit. I think he thought he was offside originally, but put some pressure on the keeper.
There's some deflections here that they go the wrong way. That's ball into the Hornet box with some real chance for the Knights. But in this case, Fritz is there to clear.
Yeah, and Fred Poto was motioning with his hands, telling his players to get into the box as he was getting ready to cross it.
That attacker was looking for some space at the edge of the 18 that wasn't there. The ball gets played back.
Good challenge by Jackson Hawley on the edge of the 18. He closed down the space there on Gracevaro. Didn't allow him to get much of a shot off.
Little footwork there by O'Brien. He's got the overlap run coming from Fritz. Can he get a cross in? Off the left, though. That might not be his favorite foot. I can't tell, but the cross went awry, went over the end line, and we'll have a pause here with some substitutes as the Knights prepare for a goal kick.
End product not what he wanted, of course, but there's Cohen Fritz with another one of those big runs up from his left back spot. And when he puts the Jets on, can really move there. We've seen it a few times today, and he's been decisive as well. So I think the entire Edina back line, Swanda, Shin, Fritz, and Hawley, all having a really good game today. It's been a pretty low-stress day back in goal for Andy Austin.
Chapdelaine back in a forward attacking role for the Hornets. Looks like we could have a pause here for a second for an injury, though. We have a Hornet player rolling around in midfield. And indeed, we will pause as possession's lost for the Knights.
Yeah, Jackson Hawley just having a word with our referee. He felt he was caught on that challenge by the Knights that allowed them to keep the ball, and because of the stoppage of play, Hawley will have to come to the sideline for a moment, but he certainly thought he was caught there with a boot, but no call from our official. Drop ball should give it back to Edina.
Opportunity coming for Tommy Sieve to come back into play. He played some heavy minutes in the first half in Hawley's usual role. Looks like he'll be back in a central defensive position right now.
I don't anticipate Jackson Hawley being on the bench very long here. As a bump there goes uncalled.
But it turns into a Hornet opportunity. Little nifty footwork and a through ball from O'Brien playing forward to Chapdelaine. Does he have anyone there? The Hornets were just trailing a little bit behind that, and his one chance to cross was snuffed because he took a look over and didn't see any green in the box. Looks like Caton played in to Schwartz. Can Caton find the end line? No, he's a little give and go with O'Brien. Gets cut out. And a back heel play. Doesn't quite work for the Knights, but it was nifty. Oh, in the box. No.
Looks like they're going to give it outside of the area. As Tommy O'Brien pleading his case that it was in the area. From my perspective, I thought it was, but it was pretty close. So, and again, I think we've had this conversation before. It's where the contact starts, of course, so.
In that case, it seemed like it must have been very light contact starting outside the box because most of it happened in the box. But nonetheless, an advantageous free kick position to swing it in or challenge goal, with the Knights having to commit a four-man wall to try and stop the incoming shot or pass. Shot to the wide post, goes high and wide. Caton had a chance there, but it turns into a goal kick for the Knights.
I would concur, by the way. The referee was right there, but at least from our perspective up here in the booth, looked like it was inside the area.
Schwartz loses it, but it bounces right to O'Brien. Playing it into Chapdelaine. Little give and go. Elkhart takes the shot. And again, that was a bouncer that just kind of fell in front of the keeper and created a little bit of an awkward moment. But with no one challenging him, he was able to just tap it forward, maintain possession, punt it forward.
An ambitious effort from nearly 30 yards out from Elkhart, but he forced the keeper into a save down to his left-hand side.
And that was not a natural position for Swanda. His ball out, his hand out to the side, made contact with the ball. Handball and a free kick for the Knights. With all of the Knight players, but the goalkeeper over the half line and the goalkeeper almost the half line. They are really pressing forward. Ball finds a Knight foot, but he had his back to the goal and he wasn't in position to shoot. The ball did ultimately fall to Malik, who found it on his right foot and had a chance outside the box to take a rip. But his roller drifted past the wide post, and it stays 2-0 Hornets.
Best chance in a while for the Knights. As you said, it was a couple Knights there, Riley Rohr and Dylan Ortiz, who were in a lot of space, albeit with the back to goal, but they were able to just lay it off to Malik, who dragged his shot wide. But good chance to put one on target there. We're down inside 8 minutes remaining, and STMA needs a goal quickly to get back into it.
Looks like Jordan playing back, all the way back to the keeper now. Possession lost though, and that time Holly does get the free kick he had been looking for earlier.
Yeah, that was a pretty high boot there from the STMA defender. Didn't exactly see where it caught Holly, but it was up around the shin area.
A little bit of a limp, but he looks okay, and he's going to continue. And Swanda's going to take the kick just a little bit on the attacking side of midfield. Hornets going for this one. They have 6 players forward looking to crash in. They do get a header on goal. It was a bit of a floater right into the arms of the Knight keeper. Good chance, though, by Sieve. Advantage, I believe, is called on the handball. And the Hornets try and play it in. With Sieve and the volley. That may have gone high and wide, but that was a beautiful volley, a rip from outside the box. It sailed over the bar.
Well, we saw it in the first half, too, with Tommy Sieve on the other end. He sort of had his back and momentum away from goal and still got a good strike off, so he can certainly hit a ball.
Tall and long, he has the ability to take a really good swing at the ball, and he definitely connected on that one. Holly having the ball play off of him on the rebound and forward, and the Hornets maintain possession. That was Elkhart with nowhere to go, though. He was kind of wondering where his on-running Hornet players were, looking for opportunities to pass. Long ball in to the wide post. Swanda trying to find, I believe it was Chapdelaine running in on the far post. And he was there, but so was the keeper. And he stepped in with a nice, confident play in 2 good hands to take that opportunity away from the Hornets.
Chapdelaine made a really nice run there, and Swanda able to put it toward the back post, as you said, in a dangerous area.
Fritz ready for a throw-in. Two Hornets, the chance to play the ball forward, but the ball falls out of bounds. And the Knights turn it around. That's Rohrer on his horse for the Knights, moving up the middle. And he does find the space on the give and go. Full speed Rohrer. But he finds Swanda, and Swanda alertly takes the ball and then with a nice drawback maintains possession for the Hornets, stopping that attack and that opportunity.
Yeah, Swanda playing that stopper role pretty well, but it was a good turn by Dylan Anderson to send a teammate into some space.
Holly does well to head the ball away from the oncoming attacker for the Knights. And boy, when there's a 50-50 ball with Holly, the ball just seems to go the direction he wants it. He's one of those players who just keeps advancing it forward, and he ends up in a favorable position on the end line. He had a lot of players in the box. I don't think that cross went right where he wanted. Hands on his head as the cross goes alert right to the keeper. That opportunity goes away for the Hornets.
Yeah, I think Jackson Hawley expects a little more from himself there. He had Chapdelaine pretty much rooted to the penalty spot in a pretty good position. And it looks like we have a foul here on Edina. Free kick coming to the Knights.
I don't know if the Knights would have cared for advantage on that one. They had Poto running forward freely, but Chin put two hands on his back in an attempt to stop him, and that was enough to draw the foul. Malik will put it in for the Knights. Everyone forward for the Knights. Goalkeeper over half line, selling out to try and get that goal to tighten up this game and create a chance. Ball drifts back to mid, and there is your keeper. It's 22 Jordan drifting through the middle for the Knights, passing it wide. Cross comes in, Poto's there. With some up, and a good header, but it goes wide of the post. Great cross, great chance. But an opportunity that goes awry for the Knights, and it stays 2-0 with under 3 minutes left for the Hornets.
Yeah, just trying to see across to that far side. Can't quite make out the number of who had that cross. It might have been Dylan Anderson, but like you said, it was a great opportunity for the Knights as...
Definitely found his target.
Yeah, Anderson was not closed down at all. Have to assume the coaching staff not too fond of that for the Hornets, but not closing down the ball, and it leads to a great chance.
Holly content to play the ball forward and try and see out what it would be a shutout victory at the moment.
Yeah, it'd be the first clean sheet in a while for Edina. Their last came against Wyzetta rather on the 20th, but 4 games in a row conceding at least 1 goal after a 4-game shutout streak. So if they can get the defense sorted, and the defense has been really strong today, that will only make this Hornet team more dangerous heading toward the playoffs.
Holly saving the pitching arm and going short here to maintain some possession in the corner. Opportunity for the Hornets, though. The Knights do not clear. Holly back heels it to his striker. We had a chance to turn, and that was a good battle. I believe that was Chapdelaine all the way there over there battling for the ball and drawing the foul in a good position for Edina to throw it in, kick it in.
Just want to take this brief moment to remind you as well, we have another game coming up. It'll be the Edina girls against St. Michael Albertville as you see them just getting set to warm up when this game concludes. So hopefully you'll join us for that. You will have to switch links over to that game.
Swanda playing it in right on the keeper. Good header, but it doesn't clear for the Knights. Swanda just dumps it right back in. Maybe one last gasp, under 30 seconds now for the Knights. That ball's going to go long. Alert ball boy there to send the ball in. Otherwise, the goalkeeper could have milked a lot of time walking after that one way down the track.
Can't remember what game it was, but last year I saw a ball go as far down as that baseball field down past the track as somebody's shot just kept rolling all the way down.
Not a deflection there. That'll do it. A 2-0 win for the Hornets, maintaining their impressive unbeaten run of form heading into the crucial part of the year.
Yeah, Edina gets a good win today. 3 more points as they'll look to keep pace with Minnetonka, who's out at Buffalo today. But assuming Minnetonka is able to come out with a win there, the game on Tuesday at Minnetonka High School could be for second place in the Lake Conference this season. And who knows, could be potentially for a league title if Wayzata slips up at any point. So that's next for the Hornets. They'll be back here on Thursday night next week against Hopkins at 7 p.m. But thank you for joining us today. It was a good game. Any final thoughts here?
No, just impressive to see this many wins, this many ties, 10, now 11 straight, and we'll see if the Hornets can keep it up. Thanks for listening.